Welcome back to my podcast. Welcome back to Review by Top Shelf Tammie. That's me, where I review and make book recommendations for you guys. Yes, I am so excited today. We are doing the first episode after the cheat sheet. So I have a whole new fresh lineup of books for you guys. This is going to be a book report episode. So this is going to be the one where I rate and rank and do the book reportish, the book reportish style episode to kind of convince you guys to read the book. Okay. So we are going to jump right in without further ado and get to it. Okay, so I do have two great books for you guys today. These books are polar opposites, so I don't have a favorite. Both of them are hitting about the same. They rated the same to me. So we got some people for urban romance, and then we got some people for not so urban romance. I got you covered on all bases today. So without further ado, we are gonna jump right on in, and I'm gonna get the review for you guys. So, the first book that I will be bringing to you guys today is The Coldest Secret Ever. Now, I did just review a book by this author, and so that's probably why it came up in my suggestions. But I read the summary and I was quite interested in it and intrigued. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it again. Even though that's one of my rules is I'm trying to introduce you guys to like new artists, so I'm technically not supposed to. But nevertheless, we got another one by India Ray coming through today. This book was published actually a while ago. This book was published May 4th, 2022. The genre classification for this book is going to be a urban psychological thriller. Yes. The setting for this book is going to be McLean, Virginia. I do not know if that's a real place, but that's where the setting is. Our main characters in this book is Logan and Lola, and they are sisters. Okay, so it was some errors in this book, but it wasn't any inconsistencies in this book. So that's always a plus. I didn't have any vocabulary for this book either, which is okay. So yes, let's jump right on into the summary. All right, so this is going to be the summary for The Coldest Secret Ever by India Ray. Logan's life looked flawless from the outside. Marriage, career, reputation, all of it. Until a sex tape goes viral and threatens to blow up everything she's worked for. The problem? The woman in the video is not her. She just looks exactly like her. Trying to clear her name, Logan starts digging and uncovers a truth that changes everything. She has a twin sister she never knew existed. Separated at birth, this sister has been living in the shadows, watching Logan live the life she feels was stolen from her. And now she's ready to take it. As Logan's world starts to crumble, it becomes clear that this isn't just about a video, it's about jealousy, revenge, secrets buried deep within her own family. The more answers Logan finds, the more dangerous things become. And soon she's questioning who's the real threat and how far she's willing to go to protect the life that she built. Yes. I love it. So I am going to jump right back into the rest of the book report, give you my rating, and give you my final thoughts on this one. I like this one. You can see. Okay. Was the book engaging? The book is very engaging. The psychological thriller mystery aspects of this book, it really draws you in. You can almost feel like the uneven unsteadiness of something that just don't feel right. Like it actually makes you feel like that way. Like something is not right. You just don't know what it is. So absolutely engaging. Was the plot predictable? The plot is not predictable, but the author, she did drop hints to some things that helps you put two and two together to figure some things out. But then everything after that is just like a shocker you didn't see coming. I want to tell so bad. Next week, I'm going to tell. Alrighty. So the book strengths. The book strengths to me was this was actually a really great plot. It was a strong plot to me. And then also the other strength in this book is the mental illness and the things the characters are struggling with can definitely be relatable if you've been through the situation with a close loved one. So it's definitely relatable. So I definitely feel like that's a book strength. The book weaknesses. The book weaknesses is like I'm not teetering, but the book weakness to me was like it wasn't that deep until it was that deep. And what I mean deep is it's kind of surface level and kind of like shallow until we kind of get a little bit more of the plot unfolding. And unfortunately, it's not until the end. So when you look back on it, the rest of the book, you kind of like, okay, that was a little shallow until you get to a certain part. So that was the only book weakness to me. It was just like, you will see. Y'all will see. Y'all will see. Y'all will see. Okay. So does the book achieve this goal? So yes, the book achieves its goal. It definitely draws your attention in and it keeps you sticking around until the end because how can it not? We have an urban psychological mystery thriller. Like, yeah. Nancy Drew. You Nancy Drew in it all the way through. Okay. All right. So the trigger warnings for this one is going to be some mental illness. We're going to have a little domestic violence, and then we are going to have a sexual assault. So yeah, if you they're not bad, but it is a touch of it in there. So I do have to let you guys know. But I think it you can read through. You can read through. So my final thoughts on this book was it's definitely readable. Yes. I love the message in this book again about the mental illness. The awareness is going to draw to black media and missing people. I love that. We don't get too much sexy sex in the book. It's some sex in the book, but it ain't the kind y'all looking for. So we don't get too much sexy sex in the book. But the author, she definitely makes up for it with the major plot twists that we get. So I'm not complaining, okay? So my rating for this book is going to be a 4.25. The Coldest Secret Ever by India Ray, the review, I recommend you. Alrighty, guys. So moving on to the second book of the night. Okay. So as I mentioned before, the books are polar opposites. So psychological thriller. Now we're going to get to our urban romance. The name of this one is All Eyes on Havoc, an Unhinged Romance by Kelly Marie. Okay. So I believe this is a new author for me. So I was definitely pleasantly surprised. I'm not mad at that at all. So again, this book author is Kelly Marie. This book is published December 17th, 2025. So this is actually a new one, right? All right. Genre classifications for this book is going to be a straight urban romance. The setting for this book is New York. The characters that we have, main characters in this book, is going to be Havoc, that is our guy love interest, and then Kiari, which is our female love interest. Now, I hope I'm saying her name right. Kairi. It could be Kyrie or Kiari. You know, black people, how we do it. All right. So it was some errors in this book. And then it was some inconsistencies in this book as well. Couple inconsistencies. All right. So let's jump right on into the summary and then I'm going to wrap up the rest of the book report. Alrighty, guys. So this is going to be the summary for All Eyes on Havoc and Unhinged Romance by Kelly Marie. She's hurt, humiliated, desperate to make everyone feel the pain she's been carrying. One reckless decision, one night meant to mean nothing, and that's when Havoc enters the pictures. Dangerous, magnetic, and impossible to ignore, the kind of man who feels like a warning sign and a temptation all at once. Sleeping with him was supposed to be a one time thing, a get even moment, but Havoc isn't a man you just walk away from. One night turns into obsession, and before she knows it, She's poured deep into his world, power, enemies, secrets, and expectations she was never meant to survive. Suddenly, she's standing beside a man who belongs to someone else in rooms she was never invited into, surrounded by people waiting for her to fall. Every touch crosses another line, every moment makes it harder to leave, and the deeper she falls, the more dangerous the truth becomes. Because love that starts in revenge always comes with a price. And Havoc, he doesn't lose what he claimed. This isn't just a romance, it's obsession, betrayal, power plays, and a man who refuses to let go no matter who gets hurt. I told you guys, yes, 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 yes. Let me jump into the rest of the book so I can give you my final thoughts and then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay. Because this one was a lot. This one was almost it was only still one book, it was still a standalone, but it was so detailed and so much that I almost started to give this an episode on its own, just how in depth it was. Okay. So starting with, was the book engaging? Yes, the book is engaging. We have a very unhealthy parenting dynamic between Havoc and his brother. So it is Havoc who is the least favorite brother, and then his brother, of course, is the favorite brother by the dad, and then they have different moms. So the dad is like unhinged with his care for Havoc. Like it's just not there. So it definitely, you're engaged. You are wanting to know more about Havoc. You looking out for him. Absolutely. Then we have Kiari who is being bullied. I'm gonna leave that. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go no deeper on that one because we still got more. Okay. So on top of her being bullied, they have a secret society. So Havoc is semi part of the secret society, and then Kiari is like a worker, a low level worker in the secret society. So you are going to want to know more about the secret society. You want to know how it's ran and just all of the connections, and then the levels of what people can and cannot do. Okay. um was the plot predictable? So with the father's love hate relationship with the sons, it makes some of the plot predictable because of course the hated one always is going to be the one who kind of rise to the occasion and get the position that the dad was pushing for the other one to have. So it is semi sort of predictable, but the actions leading up to everything is not. So it that really is not a spoiler alert. It don't take too much away. Okay, so the book strengths. So it was definitely a great story from the plot and the overall execution. As I mentioned before, this book is very in depth. Like it could have been two books. Was it two books? I don't think it was two books. It could have been two books, or it could have been a series. It could have been three books. It could have been a lot more, but I'm not tripping. It definitely was executed well. So the book weaknesses. This is where I was a little disappointed in the book. And yes. So one of the book weaknesses to me was the author, she skipped some key details in the storytelling. Like a big decision that we've been waiting on to come, it would happen outside the book and then we would jump back in and pick up from them accepting the big decision. So let me give you guys an example. Say you're reading a book about a character that's getting married, right? And so we are talking about the wedding, we planning the wedding, we having issues with the wedding, good and bad, right? And then you get all this build up to the wedding, and then the author skips the wedding, and then she just say, "Oh, she goes into like, oh, it was a great wedding, and now the people on their honeymoon, right?" And it's like, wait a minute, we did all the build up for the wedding. So that's kind of what happened in this book. We had like a lot of build up to certain situations, and then the author just kind of skipped them. And then when we come back to the story, those decisions or whatever has transitioned, and then we just like moving on. But they was like really big things that should have been talked out more in a book. So that was, yeah, that was one of my book weaknesses, and I was a little disappointed with that. Alrighty. So does the book achieve its goal? So yes, the book definitely achieves its goal of keeping the reader entertained and drawn in all the way to the end. We're gonna have some good sex in this book, so yeah, you're gonna be entertained. And yeah, the book achieves its goal. Okay. The trigger warnings for this book, we have some attempted rape and murder. Okay. Final thoughts on this book. I wanted to give this book 5 stars. This book probably would have been a 5-star book if we didn't have the things that I mentioned in the book weaknesses. If the author would have included those things, this book would have been great. This book would have been rereadable. All the things that I consider like a 5-star book, because it was the inconsistencies and just the book weaknesses that I told you guys about, I was only able to rate this book a 4.25. But I still recommend you read this book. This is a great book. It is very entertaining. It is definitely like one of those must reads. Is it rereadable? You probably don't need to reread it a second time after you read it the first time, but it's definitely readable. I recommend this book. Again, I give it a 4.5. And All Eyes on Havoc and Unhinged Romance by Kelly Marie. The review, I recommend you. Alrighty, guys. So that is the end of this episode. This was the book report episode. I will be back next week with the questions and discussions where we're going to dive in and we're going to do a little tea spilling and a little telling you what the story this is about. Okay. Alrighty. So if you are watching on YouTube, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I post every Thursday. If you guys want to recommend books to me, or if you are an author who would like your book or your poem reviewed on the show, you can email me at ts_tammiepie@yahoo.com. At that same email address, you guys are able to leave me your reviews as well to have them read on the show. I would love to do that. Righty. If you would like to stay in touch with me on my social media platforms, my Instagram is topshelf_Tammie, and then my TikTok is Top Shelf Tammie. Until next week, guys. Bye bye.